Hello. I believe you're doing well. I believe you're doing well. And this is a midweek analysis. So I'll be looking at a few pairs to see how we are going to trade for the rest of the week. I'll start with the US dollar, but before I start, I believe you are doing well. I believe you are having a great week so far. We'll be looking at the US dollar here, the USDX. As you can see, we have been bearish since this buy side liquidity has been taken. You were with us and you saw how we tracked this buy move and all the way here, this sell move here, and we have been selling it, and I talked about it taking out the sell stops here, and we still have this sell stops which are resting here. But now price took out this sell side liquidity now into this imbalance. I want to see it retrace back. This is what I'm looking for. I want to see price retrace back into this order block here. This is what I'm expecting from this dollar. I want to see it retrace back. So our first target when we are buying it, it will be this imbalance here. This is where we want to see it trade into first, and then wait for it to close above it, and then trade into the bearish order block there. So just know that it can still use this imbalance to key off a trade and start going down. But my focus is this bearish order block. I want to see trade back into it. But if we go down into the lower time frame, I want to show you something. Let's look into the 2-hour. You can see here on the 2-hour time frame, price took the liquidity that we expected to be taken, as you can see here. So what do you see? Price read this buy side liquidity here, took those buy stops, opened with a gap, traded above this highs, took out this buy side liquidity here, and it traded into this imbalance, and it went all the way down breaking structure, forming a breaker here, a bearish breaker, as you can see there. It retests it, and then it sells off to clear this liquidity here. So my expectation is I want to see price trade back. I want to see it trade back into this bearish order block here, and we'll be looking for a nice setup going down. But if price decides to close above the point there, let's say it goes above and closes above this up candle here, then we might just expect price to retest it, and then we might see it close this volume imbalance here. We might see it close this volume imbalance, and this will be our weekly target for this week. So for now, I want to see trade first into this area here, and since we are still bearish and we haven't had anything that tells us to buy, I will be looking to see it continue going down. But when it happens that it closes above it, then our target will be that area there. That's what I'm looking for in the dollar index. That's all I'm looking for the dollar. And we go down to the Euro USD. The EU did a good job too. As you can see, it cleared this buy side liquidity as we expected, but before it did it, it went down first, taking out the sell side liquidity here, and it traded into this imbalance here, which you have already annotated. Took us the buy stops. We are still watching to see if it has so much power to take out that high. The same thing as the DXY. I want you to trade back into this order block here, and then my expectation is to see it continue going up because we are still bullish. But again, when you look into the lower time frame, because this is the inverse of the dollar index, let's go to the lower time frame. when you go down to the lower time frame, you can see it engineered those nice beautiful buy stops. Our main focus will be to see it trade back into this order block here, and after that is the continuation going up. But if now it decides to close below this order block here, if it closes below the order block there, then our target will be this imbalance here. Let's say it comes all the way, closes below there, you just sell on a retracement there, and then your target will be this imbalance there, and eventually maybe the low and this imbalance. But for now we're still bullish. I'm just including that if statement because you don't know what might happen here, so you have to wait for a break in market structure on the lower time frame and this bullish order block for you to start buying. Don't just buy, just wait for market structure to tell you that it wants to go up on the lower time frame, and then anticipate your buy resell there. If you don't see anything, that's what can lead to price just collapsing through this order block and then breaking it down, because we have already cleared this buy side liquidity here. You see this high, that's a pool of buy stops, so there's a high possible chance that they can just liquidate their orders there and allow price to fall. But for now we're still bullish. This is the order block we are focusing on. If price comes here, wait for market structure to change, to look to the upside on the lower time frame and execute accordingly. Don't be afraid. And we have the GU. The GU too, it took out this buy side liquidity. As you can see there, as we expected, we have been bullish all along, and this is our target, and it has now been hit. The price traded nicely into this bullish order block, expanded, bought again here on this day. So this buy stops has been cleared, and now price is in this buy side liquidity pool area here. We might expect that small liquidation. Price might just trace back inside the order block. Then you might see price going down the into the order block. That's what I'm looking for the short term. And if we get anything that tells us to buy, then maybe we can start continuing. So you have to watch price to see how it unfolds at that area. This is where I want to see price trade back, more especially into this gap here. If price can just find its way to trade back inside this gap here, it will be so beautiful. That's what I'll be observing to see how price unfolds for this coming day and tomorrow. Let's see how price trades inside this gap and eventually into this bullish breaker here, and I'll be observing and seeing how price will play out. And we have this German 30 here. The German 30 for me is still bullish. As you can see, the German 30 is still bullish. We have this imbalance here. Let me enlarge it. We have this imbalance here. Price might just want to trade back into it and then continue going up. But if we have a situation where this imbalance is broken down, if price decides to close below this imbalance, then we might just see it continue going down into this imbalance here and this one. So if it trades back all the way into this imbalance, I'll be watching to see if it gives us a buy entry there, and then we might continue our bullish bias going up because it's still bullish. So I'll be watching to see how it trades inside this imbalance. Anything that will be nice from this here, I will be just looking to see if we can get a buy setup there. But if they don't give us any breaking structure to the upside and doesn't show us anything, we just wait to see how far it wants to go down. But overall it's bullish, as you can see. This is where I want it to come to this buy side liquidity, which is resting above here, this December 2021 highs here. This is where we want to see price trade to. So I'll be observing to see how price will unfold in the coming days. We might just have that retracement back into the range. If this doesn't stop price from going down, price will just come all the way into here, and we'll be looking to see if it goes all the way up. Then we have Nasdaq. So on Nasdaq, the same thing too on Nasdaq. It played out nicely. It's still at that imbalance. So on Nasdaq, I'm still expecting price to trade back inside this range. This is our first target, this gap here. I want to see price trade into this gap here to retrace into it and fill it, and then before we can continue going up. And if it has more desire, it can even still be allowed to retrace all the way into the order block before we can see our beautiful price to the upside. I'm still bullish on Nasdaq, and that's what I'm looking for. So just watch out to see how price trades today. It might give us a nice sell day today. And we have the US 30, the US 30. With the US 30, as you can see, price broke market structure here to the upside, and it left with this gap here. So our short-term target will be this sell into this gap here. That's what I'll be looking for, but we are still bullish. Remember, we're still bullish, and we're trading into this bullish breaker on the higher time frame. If you go down to the weekly, you will see this candle here. This candle here is a bullish breaker. This is the candle we are trading inside of. I'll be watching price to see if it will just trade back into this imbalance here. That's a nice sell there into the imbalance. I'm expecting to see price trade back into it, and if it happens that it closes below it, then this order block high here will be a nice target for this downside. But this is the only area that I'm focusing on, this imbalance, and I want to see a large accumulation of buy orders again here. We might just get that retracement into it. Let's just target that for this week, and then most of the things we'll see them next week. So for now, I'm just looking to see price trade into that area there, and then some of the things we'll look at them in the coming week analysis. Together with the S&P, I'm still watching to see how it plays out, and my expectation is still to see it trade back into this area which I have marked here. It broke structure there to the upside. I want to see the S&P trade back into this area here before we can have a nice up move for in the coming weeks. That's where I'm seeing S&P trade to. And gold has been playing nicely. It has done as we expected to go this buy side liquidity. It was trading away from this bullish breaker here. As you can see, price respected it and it went up nicely. So if you look at gold carefully, we still have this buy side liquidity which is in play there. That is the one which is attracting price to the upside. So they want to clear that pool of liquidity. And since we are still bullish on the EU and the GU, we are still bullish again on gold. We are still bullish on gold again. So I'll be watching to see how price unfolds from this gold trade. I want to see it continue going up. Yes, I want to see it continue going up. And let me show you. I want it to trade back into this range here. We might just have that retracement back into this shaded area, which is the buy side imbalance which they've created there. Price might just want to come back, trade back into this high again, and before continuing up. And right now you can see it's still going up. It's still going up nicely. So I'll be watching to see how price unfolds. So that's what I had. That's a short-term analysis that I have. I will see if I have any setup that I see on the market, then I will send on the group. I have to make sure that at least one setup a week to send to you guys. So I love you all. Have a great trading week. Make sure that you rest well and take care of yourself.